Hi, welcome back to Art by Brooke. So I haven't been to Dollar Tree in quite a while, and I recently kind of heard about some cool things they have, just kind of like home decor things. And so I was like, oh, I'll just stop by and check it out. And, you know, maybe they have some paints or something, because I've done a Dollar Tree paint pour video, actually a couple, in the past. And when I got there, now this may have been there for a while, but it's new to me because it wasn't there last time I went. They have a Dollar Tree Plus section, and these items are more expensive than the rest of the items in the store. They're very clearly marked, as you can tell, and they're meant to be maybe larger things or things that are slightly higher value or better value, things like that. It also gives you more variety. So it's an interesting concept, and I noticed that they have these pouring paints. They're pre-mixed, and I've never used them before. Also, these canvases, I'm not sure what the plural of canvas is. They have this circle and this hexagon. I think that's a hexagon. And I just thought that sounded like a lot of fun. So I got 2 whites because, of course, you can never have too much of that. I always tend to run out of the white because it's used for the background and also used in other colors to make them lighter or used as contrast. And then I got a black, which they call Onyx, and Amethyst, which is like a dark purple, magenta-y. The white is called Snow, and then light pink, which I don't know why that one doesn't get a fun name, and then there's metallic gold. So of course I saw these colors and I thought this would make a really beautiful geode. So I am going to use, I believe this is my first time using a circular canvas. I've used circular other things like when I've made ornaments and things like that, but I don't think that I've used a circular canvas. So this should be really fun. And that's what we're doing in this video. Okay, we're all set up now. So I have a tool to spread around the white paint in the background. This one is not from Dollar Tree, but I know that they have a set of like 4 little tools that are kind of like this. And so I just didn't want to buy more and be wasteful because I knew I had some at home. I also am using my own cups underneath because, again, I know that you can buy cups there. I have before for my other videos, but again, I already knew I had it, so no use getting more. Also, if I end up using popsicle sticks, the same thing applies. So I'm going to go ahead and start by putting down the white background, and then I'll just jump right into putting in all the other colors. One thing to mention, it actually took a long time to get the little security things underneath the lids off, and it actually was not a very simple process. So as you can see, I ended up having to go in with an X-Acto knife because these are not made to be peeled off. I even did what you're not supposed to do, and I tried to use my teeth. Nothing worked. So it could be just that I'm weak, but I really do think they were really difficult. So I just had to use an X-Acto knife, and it just looks like that. So I know that may not be a big deal to most people, but to me, that's pretty frustrating, and I think it would be something that might keep me from wanting to use these again, but that could just be that I'm lazy. So keep that in mind. Oh, something else while I'm thinking about it is this smells kind of like house paint. So I like to try to mention it if they smell like something in particular, because I know some people, myself included, have different sensitivities to smells. I actually find it a pleasant smell, but I like house paint smell. So that just depends on your personal preference. And I will try to check back in if it smells really strong at the end. oh my gosh. This turned out so cool. I am a little bit blown away by these paints. They're a little thicker than I thought they would be, which is actually a good thing. And these still may be a little bit on the thinner side, but so far I really like the way that they worked. It seems like it's self-leveling really well, and the coverage was really nice as well with the white. I probably could have done with a little less if I wanted to. I did close to a full container for the background, just because I thought that's what I would need for the coverage. I probably could have started with a little less. As it is, I don't think I really wasted very much. There's not that many drips around the sides, but oh wow, I love the way this looks so far. For not having done a video in a while, this is a really good one to get back into it because this is exciting. So because of the canvas's harsh edges, it's not like a curved edge, I am seeing kind of like some white peeking through around these edges. You'll see that when we do the close-up. But really, honestly, the longest part of this was trying to cover all the edges with the white paint at the beginning, because unfortunately with a circle or circular canvas, there's a lot of little folds and things like that. And so there's a lot of little grooves to try to get the paint in, but it wasn't too bad. Just time consuming, basically. Wow. So I am going to try to use my torch a little bit on this. That's one thing that I don't think that the Dollar Tree has. I actually didn't take a good look at it to see if they even had something like that. But it's not necessary. You can also blow on it with like a straw and just gently blow on bubbles and things like that. But for me, it's just a little bit easier to use. Unfortunately, with any negative space, like up here and even just the lighter areas in here, you see a lot of kind of like dust that was in the air. I see a few right now, so I'm going to go ahead and pick those out, and then I'll probably be doing that for the rest of the evening as I notice them. Another thing I'm noticing is the black is not bleeding into other colors, which is very cool. Again, if it was too thin, it could be doing that, which would make the painting muddy. But as it is, the colors are really bright. And I really like the way the metallic looks. It's probably hard for you to see from the way that the camera is, but I do see a lot of shimmer already. And so therefore, when it dries, hopefully we'll get even more of that. All right, I'm going to let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. These don't usually move very much after they've been poured, but I just want to give it a minute to settle down, and then we'll take a closer look. Editing Brooke here. You will actually see 2 different versions of me because this is a long video, so it's taking me a while to edit. I just wanted to come in and mention the cost breakdown. I like to do this if I'm doing kind of a video review of pre-mixed paints, I guess. So I mentioned in the last couple of videos that my mixture includes Floetrol, craft paint, or Liquitex heavy body acrylic, and sometimes a little bit of water, and that costs about $1 to $1.50 US dollars for 2 ounces. I did this measurement because a lot of the premix paints come in 2-ounce sizes. And then I believe that I calculated Liquitex pouring medium as the other option because I know a lot of people use that, and that ends up being almost $3 per 2 ounces. So these premix paints from Dollar Tree, and remember they're Dollar Tree Plus, so they actually cost $3 per bottle, are 8 ounces, so that ends up being about 68 cents for 2 ounces. That's actually a really good price. Also, since the circle canvas is not something I've worked with before, I looked that up to see kind of the general cost in other places. It is a 12-inch circle canvas, at least that's how it's listed, and I found some online. I found a similar one on Hobby Lobby for $4.99 US dollars again, and $9.99 at Michael's. Now, I've never actually seen them in person at Michael's. This may be an online-only option, and I don't really know the quality of either of those places as far as circle canvas. So it seems like it's actually a pretty good deal there as well. Okay, and we're back. As I thought, not much has changed, so let's take a closer look. So the light pink is actually very close to white. And it's only, oops, let's focus. It's only super obvious when it's right next to the white. But look at these layers. This is so cool. This is from that dirty pour in the middle. And it's hard to show the gold, especially with the glare, but let's see if we can come down here. This pink is so bright, this like pinky purple. Maybe you can see the gold here where it crosses over a little bit. You can see a little bit of the shine. And this center part, you can just see the stark contrast between the black and the other colors, which I love. We'll come back over here. This is really pretty where it's kind of cloudy pink with the gold. And then let's look at this edge. So you can see that there's that line because it's a harsh line of canvas, but I wouldn't say that that's just a dollar store thing. I just think that that's how canvas is when it has a really harsh edge. And you can see kind of those wrinkles that I was talking about in the canvas. But still, the paint goes off the side nicely, and I don't think that's going to be really annoying. I just think it adds some texture maybe. So I am really excited about this painting, and I'm actually a little bit surprised by how nice the paint is. I'm going to have to see how it dries, and we'll see if I think that I would use it again. But so far, it seemed to be pretty easy to work with. And I definitely will be doing another video with the octagon. No, it was a hexagon. I will be doing another one with the hexagon canvas as well. I also got a few other things from the Dollar Tree that I will be painting on. I'm not sure if I'll use these paints or not. It kind of depends on how much is left. You'll have those to look forward to coming up. I almost forgot to mention the smell. It still smells like house paint, but there's like a slight bit of almost a fishy odor. It's not very strong and not enough to bother me, which a lot of things do bother me. So I don't think it's a big deal, but it is something to mention. Now, I do plan to do a video of this once it's dry and kind of fit that in. So I'll just put it in right after this clip, and then we'll come back and do all of the end parts of the video after that. So editing Brooke here, this is the day after doing the paint pour, and the sort of fishy smell has definitely increased some. It's not overpowering, but it's not super pleasant. So if you pour in the same room as you sleep, which I do because I don't have a lot of space, it's not ideal. People walking into the room can smell it and they're like, what is that smell? So not my favorite. Definitely not the most overpowering paint that I've used, but something to keep in mind. All right, I am back with the dry paint pour. So it has been 2 days since I did this, and of course I'm not going to be scratching the top of it, but it is dry to the touch and I'm able to pick it up. So the thing I noticed right away is that unfortunately it stayed tacky. I've seen this in some pre-mixed paint pour sets, and it's just like the paint itself, even though it's dry, it stays sticky, which is a little disappointing because that means I'll have to try to find something to seal this with. Otherwise, the dust is going to collect on this and not come off. Obviously, it will cause your paintings to last longer if you do seal it, but with other paint pours, you can sometimes make the decision not to. But look how beautiful these colors are. I am very excited about this. Nothing got dull after drying, and the metallic is just as pretty as I hoped it would be. Super pretty, and the whole thing is pretty shiny. I wouldn't say it's super, super glossy, but it's definitely not a matte. So let's take a look at the other side. Now, I don't tape the back of my paintings, so you can kind of see, but I like this canvas. I probably would be willing to use it again. The only downside, let's see if I can find it here. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Okay, so this is where I guess 2 sides of the canvas were pulled together, but it comes all the way up to here. And so it's a very obvious thing. I wish that the cut had been further down, almost like maybe they were trying to conserve or utilize more canvas that was kind of like the scraps. So that's a little disappointing, but I don't think that would be super obvious. It just kind of depends on your preference. And if you were to frame any of your paintings, that probably wouldn't be a big problem, though I don't really know how to frame circle ones. Actually, I don't know how to frame any of them, but I wonder if that would be a lot more difficult. So overall, this dried really nicely, and of course, I'll probably be keeping an eye on it for the next few weeks just to see if anything changes, but I think it dried down really well. There's no cracking, nothing like that. Also, I noticed that this paint seemed to self-level really well. I don't have a lot of little holes in it, like pinprick holes, and the paint seems flat. Okay, back to the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell so you get a notification every time I post a new video. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've tried these paints before from the Dollar Tree, and did you find them to be similar to what you use other times? Or maybe is this your primary paint? Also, mine was a little picked over on colors, but let me know if you've seen some other colors that were nice. I think there was a silver, but there was only one left, and I didn't really see any other colors that I'd want to use it with. Plus, they are $3 each, so I didn't want to buy a ton of them in case they were really bad. So if you've seen other colors and you liked them, let me know. I am a sucker for cool colors too. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.